Hey guys, so I am 57 hours into my 3 days fast and everything is incredible. I have shedded like 60 pounds of fat already, like that's all my body is doing, and I have never been like this before.
Never fasted before. You sure you're
Wait,
good?
no, I'm fine. I should be good. Like I've never felt more amazing in my entire life.
You'll survive. Get out of my video.
Okay, so I know that the title might trigger a couple people, but I just want to say that when I'm going to talk about fat, I'm talking about this, not people that carry fat. Also, I'm not going to make any moral judgments about different body compositions. I don't know what your lifestyle is, I don't know you personally, so I'm not here to tell you that one body is better than the other. I also am fully aware that there are some conditions that would make weight loss impossible or just really hard for most people. And if you're one of those people, I don't think that this video will ever help you lose weight. But it's still going to teach you something important. So just sit along and watch, and maybe you'll learn something. But first, I want to talk about fasting. So there are two main types of fasting. One is intermittent fasting, and the other one is going to be traditional fasting. Intermittent fasting is the one that every scummy diet guru will preach about when trying to tell you about the new secret way they've discovered to lose hundreds of pounds overnight. And yes, it has its benefits, but it is a complete dietary change. In intermittent fasting, you would eat all your meals within a shorter period of time. So you would always skip breakfast. That's what it really means. Or dinner, up to you. Depends how much of a morning person you are. But even though it has its own health benefits, yes, they've been blown out of proportion, but it does have some health benefits. It's not the one I want to touch on today. The one I want to talk about is the traditional fasting. In traditional fasting, you will not intake any food for 24 hours to 7 days. So there are multiple options for you. If you have never fasted before, as I said earlier, you should not start with 7 days, or it's gonna happen to you what happened to the idiot over there. This type of fasting does have some benefits when it comes to weight loss, mainly because you do not take in any calories, as earlier mentioned, so you just burn everything throughout the day. But it is not the main reason why it should be practiced. And one of the main reasons why it should be done every so often is hormone regulation and self-discipline. So the way we get hungry is through hormonal responses. We have ghrelin. We'll never know. So we have ghrelin, which is a hormone that's released when we are supposed to get hungry. And it is related to our meal frequency. If you eat 2 meals a day, twice a day at regular intervals, you will be getting hungry depending on when you eat. Same if you eat once a day, 6 times a day, 4 times a day, doesn't matter. But when you're fasting, ghrelin levels are going to significantly be reduced. So that way you get less hunger throughout the day. So that way you are not just a slave to your own hormones. You are actually in control of what you do. The other hormone that is involved is leptin. And leptin is created by your fat cells in order to tell you when to stop eating, when you're satiated. It's produced in order to maintain caloric balance. The more fat cells you have, the more leptin you'll make. The more leptin you make, the more resistant you are going to be to this hormone that regulates your hunger. With fasting, you are going to reset your leptin resistance, which means that you are going to create the same amount of leptin, but because you didn't lose any fat cells, but you are going to be more susceptible to feeling the effects of leptin, so you'll feel more satiated easier. The second reason why you should be practicing fasting is actually related to the hormonal one. You are going to be more in control of your hunger. So that way you can resist your own temptation. You're going to feel like you need food when you're fasting, and you have to teach yourself how to deny yourself that pleasure or necessity, because your body interprets it as something that you absolutely must have, even though you'll be fine without it. This mental toughness is something that will help you through dieting a lot in the past couple years. At least once a year for 4 months I was dieting down, and for the first 2 years it was incredibly hard to not be grumpy and hangry at all times, because I was in such a high caloric deficit for me. And with fasting I got to understand that just because I want food, that doesn't mean that I need food. It allowed me to actually enjoy every day of my diet instead of just feeling miserable for such a long period of time. And it made me feel in control of what I do with my body. So if you are overweight, if you are underweight, if you are at the perfect weight, you should still be able to control your body. Because after enough practice of not indulging yourself in food, you are going to be able to look at it not necessarily as a need or a pleasure, but as fuel. Food is supposed to give you energy, not to make you its little bitch. When you have the choice of what and when you eat, you can finally make those choices rational. You can look at your lifestyle and decide whether or not you want to gain some weight or lose some. You'd have complete control over whether or not you're going to be skinny or fat or anywhere in between. Having control over your choices instead of being guided by your subconscious mind would make life a lot easier, just generally speaking. So why not try it? Try it for one day, see how you feel, try it for one day again next week. And if you want to share your experience, let us know in the comments. If you've already tried fasting before, just tell us how it affected you. Maybe you might inspire somebody to do it themselves. See you in the next one.